Lucas wasn't loud, but his mind was. He left conversations replaying every word he didn't say. He rewrote them in his head over and over. What he should have said, could have said, if only. In school, he was quiet. At home, even quieter. Somewhere along the way, he learned. The loudest voice wins. So he tried to speak up, to interrupt, to be heard. But every time, it felt fake, like wearing someone else's skin. Inside, Lucas wasn't timid. He just didn't believe silence could be strength. Until he met the blacksmith. Lucas stumbled into the forge by accident. Rain poured. His bike chain had snapped. He needed shelter. The shop was dim, hot. Sparks flew as the blacksmith hammered glowing iron. He didn't look up. Lucas stood awkwardly. Minutes passed. Finally, the blacksmith spoke. Metal doesn't shout to be shaped. It submits to heat and silence. Lucas frowned. Sorry? The man put down his hammer and turned. His face was lined, his eyes steady. Most people try to prove themselves by noise, but real force is quiet. Lucas stayed longer than he planned. The next day, Lucas returned. The blacksmith handed him a small block of iron. Shape this. No words, just watch, listen. Hours passed. Lucas hit too hard, then too soft. The metal bent wrong. His frustration grew. Silence, the blacksmith said. Lucas paused, breathed, tried again. This time he listened to the rhythm, the resistance, the response. By sunset, he had a shape, imperfect, but his. Words are tools, the blacksmith said, but silence, that's the fire. And if this story, this rhythm, has struck a chord inside you, then subscribe to this channel, because sometimes the message you need is the one that says nothing at all. Over the next weeks, Lucas returned often. He learned to hammer, to temper, to shape without rush. But he also learned to listen, not just to metal, but to people. He stopped interrupting, paused before speaking, observed before reacting, and slowly he noticed something powerful. When he spoke less, people leaned in. His words had weight. One day, Lucas asked, "Why don't you talk much?" The blacksmith smiled. "Because when I speak, I want the world to listen, not just hear." He paused, picked up a blade Lucas had made. This didn't need more hammering, just patience. Same with words. Lucas felt that deeply. He thought of all the noise in the world, the arguments, the shouting, and how, sometimes, silence cut deeper than any word. The blacksmith told him a story. There once was a king who sought the greatest swordsmith. When he arrived, he found a quiet man in a simple hut. No shouting, no pride. The king demanded a sword that would never break. The man handed him a blade of humble iron. The king laughed. "This, it looks plain." The smith replied, "But it listens. To your grip, your swing. It doesn't fight back. It flows." Years later, the king would say, "It was not the flashiest weapon, but it won every battle." Lucas finally understood. Silence wasn't absence. It was preparation. It was intention. He began applying it to his life, to school, to friendships, to moments where he used to fill space with noise. And the less he spoke, the more powerful he felt. Because now, his voice wasn't just heard, it was remembered. Years later, Lucas didn't become a blacksmith, but he became something rarer, a listener. He didn't speak to be noticed, he spoke to matter. And maybe that's the secret. Speak less, listen more, let your words earn their place. Now tell me, what's one moment you regret talking too much, or not speaking when it mattered?